Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxster, on the show this evening is the one and only Albert and the rising star of Rangers Radio, young Robert. How are we doing, gentlemen?
I'm excellent. How are you two?
What the better for hearing your dulcet tones, mate?
We'll see what
Evening,
happens
lads.
later.
How are we?
I'm all right, Robert. Your good self.
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right.
Right, me and Albert are going to take the fifth in this because we've done enough after the game on Sunday, and I've obviously made some comments last night. I just want to get your view quickly on the game at the weekend, mate, and where we are, and then we'll start looking forward because let's be honest, all our focus should be on what's happening in the day and what's happening tomorrow night at the club, yeah? Because we've got a big game of
100%.
football, yeah?
100%, mate. Touching on Sunday, I'll be honest, Ox. I wasn't surprised we dropped points given the latest performances we've seen. The team selection raised an eyebrow or two. Again, obviously, going with no striker to start the game when there was two on the bench, and obviously the issues that happened later on with Higgyman, of course, which we'll touch on later. But overall, mate, another poor performance. And it got to the stage, obviously, in the second half where we made that many substitutes. I couldn't see any formation, any structure. It looked like panic station setting.
I understand that fully, mate. I don't know what we're trying to do at times, yeah. We're just trying to get as many forward players on the pitch as possible and see what it took us. And by the way, we maybe should have got other goals, but we still never made a lot of chances, mate. Even with all the people on the pitch. All right, that's fair, Robert, isn't it? That's fair, yeah. Another poor performance, yeah, that sums it up, doesn't it?
It is what it is, mate. Park it there. Robert says we're all expecting it. So the game went exactly the way we all knew it was going to go. The circumstances we're in and the way we play against them. Not just this game, and not just the three games this season. Clement played down at Paisley the exact same way. Every time he went there, Gerrard played the same way down there. Van Bronckhorst played the same way down there. It's just the way they play. We struggle to open them up. We struggle to do anything. Added to that, what we're going through the new, and it looked and is even worse. But there's mitigating circumstances if you want to look for them. But if you don't, it's just the usual. The usual will come out, and it's all
right.
Just all been coming out.
We'll move quickly to the manager's interview, Robert, if that's all right with you, mate. Because obviously it gives us a step for a hint of what's going on at the club. Let's talk about the news, if you like, off the park before we start focusing on how we think we'll line up, etc., for the following night and how we think we'll do. Yeah, if that's all right with you two, gentlemen.
Yep.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll have the first part of the manager's interview, have a quick chat, then have the second part, and we'll get the phone lines open. Okay?
Aye, fine with me.
It's fine with you, it's fine with me. I'm all for democracy. But just remember this, Albert. 2 idiots can outvote a genius.
This genius is on mute. This genius is on mute, waiting for an interview.
Right, okay. Get yourself on mute and let's hear from our manager.
Hi Russell, how's the squad looking ahead of tomorrow? And obviously we know Hamza hasn't travelled. Can you give us an update on that situation as well?
Yes, I expect, I think we all expect that to come to a close very soon, and he won't be our player anymore. So that'll be that, and everyone else is pretty much here. So looking forward to a big game tomorrow.
How disappointing and disruptive has that situation been since the weekend?
Not really. I haven't seen him. So he had a scan yesterday and got assessed. And then obviously stuff's happening today, so he wasn't in, so it hasn't been disrupted moving forward at all.
See, as a player and a former captain, if that had happened when you were playing, how would you have dealt with it as a teammate?
I don't know. I don't recall too many instances happen. I think I always just said to the players, just be honest with yourself and with us as teammates, and I'd much rather that happen before the game than during it. It's happened, we moved forward, we dealt with it. He's got what he wanted. Well, it looks likely to get what he wanted, to play somewhere else, and it means we've got a sum of money that we wanted for him. So ideally it wouldn't have happened, but it did, and now we move forward and we can move on.
In terms of, there's obviously things going on in-house, Russell, with the player returning late from pre-season. You've obviously maybe tried to shield him from that. How disappointing on a personal level was that for a professional player to not just for you, but for his teammates as well, who were...
No, I just think one day when we won a lot of games and won something here at the club, maybe we can sit down and be really honest about the first couple of months and what you have to deal with. But it's really difficult. It was the same at Southampton. So many players thought their future would lie elsewhere. Towards the end of the window, we had a really bad run of form because so many players were being told by their agents, by other clubs, that they'll get it done next week, next 2 weeks, next few days, wait till the end of the window, we'll get a favourable deal. And then we ended up with probably 15 players who thought they were still going to be leaving the club up until probably a week before, and then 4 or 5 who thought they were going to leave on transfer deadline day. So that team then went on to be 25 games unbeaten, because once the window shut, they realised, okay, now we're here, we can settle down and we can actually get to work. So it's not a surprise to me. It's not the players' fault. It's really not. It's really difficult for a young man that doesn't speak the language, that's being told, don't worry, your future's going to be elsewhere, and then I'm asking him to be all in and do this, and this is what we need from you, and all that stuff. So difficult. So I don't take it personally. For Hamza, the group's been amazing in terms of their willingness. It's certainly not a lack of effort, and it's not the reason we didn't win on Sunday. It's frustrating, but it's part and parcel of the transfer window. But the rest of the guys that we have here have been fantastic. Maybe 1 or 2 of them will not be here by the end of next week, but whilst they are here, they're giving us everything they've got, and I think that's all I can ask is whilst you're here, give everything you've got.
And just a kind of final question on that, just for clarity, as far as you're concerned, the scans showed that there was no injury issue with...
I expect him to pass his medical, yeah.
Just in terms of the rest of the squad, Russell, Cyril Desser's he okay to play, and who else is...
Yeah, Cyril's here and he's good to go, yeah.
Anybody else different from the squad at the weekend?
No, I don't think so. All good, yeah.
Just in terms of the tie, how do you approach tomorrow night? Obviously, a bit of a shot to nothing given the events in the first leg. How do you see it heading into match number 2?
I'm excited about it. I think we have a real chance to come here and attack it. And every team will have a plan, so it'll be interesting to see what their plan is, and I'm sure it'll be to try and build on their margin that they're winning by. But we've been in the other end of this position already twice, going into games not quite knowing how the opposition would approach it. So our energy and our mentality has to really alter their plan very quickly and make their energy change. So they're a good team, we know that. I think they felt we were a good team in the second half, and I hope we put enough good moments together in that second half to make sure that they have a little bit of fear of what's to come, and we're ready for them. So we're going to attack it and see where it takes us. It's exciting. This game is very much alive, and the tie is very much alive in our eyes.
Russell, what gives you the belief and the confidence in terms of what you've seen in the performances so far? What gives you the belief that things are still moving forward and progressing the way you would want it to?
Well, the guys run more in the last game against Bruges than they have done for 2 years, pretty much 2 years at this football club. So they're willing to run for us, they're willing to work for us. At the minute, like I said to you, we have a little bit of inconsistency in selection, trying to find a rhythm, trying to find a way, and the different games we've come across, but things will settle down very soon. So the fact they're willing to run so hard for us as a group and for each other suggests to me that it's going to be okay, and we're going to move forward. So I've said to you all the way along, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore, I don't think this was a quick fix for any manager in football to come in here and expect it to click overnight. with so much gone on, so much change and all that stuff. But we have a game tomorrow to really attack and see where we're really at and see how much we progress and see how much we can improve from the first leg. So it's an exciting week for us.
Okay, we'll take away the cliches and we'll just talk about the big story, obviously. It looks as if Hamza Ingerman is moving on. So, look, I've got a simple view on it all, but I'm consistent with it. If somebody doesn't want to be with us, make a deal, move on, mate. It doesn't matter who you are, mate. Yeah?
Oh, I agree with that, mate. Totally 100% agree with that. It's the only sensible way to do it, man. We've learned a lesson with one of our favourite players with Lauder up with the same situation he wanted away. And look what happened there. So, they went away. Ta-ta. Cheerio.
Robert? Come on, Robert. Yeah, Albert. So, look, if somebody wants to leave the club, we're in total agreement, mate. Now, I'll be interested to see what the price is or what the reported price is, because if we're making chunky money, fair play, yeah, fair play. And if he's got that attitude, mate, I'll question whether he'll make it, mate. If he's come back about 2 stone overweight for the summer, mate, and he's not been professional, well, because you move clubs, mate, might be a better environment, but it's still in you, mate. It's still in you, and it might not work. It might not end up being the player he could have been. Well,
you look at it now with Clement. Clement didn't play him a lot. He played him, but he didn't play him a lot. Ferguson was the same. He played him, but didn't play him a lot. Now Martin's in, he didn't play him. Or didn't play him a lot. So there's something not right with the boy. There's something definitely not right with the boy. I don't know if he's letting other people influence him, stupid people talking to him, telling him stupid things. But he'll soon realise, the boy will realise quite quickly. He's left to one of the biggest teams in Europe to go and follow some dream that he's been told about. Maybe it's just more money he wanted. Maybe it's just as simple as that, mate. They've offered him maybe double or treble what he's on at Rangers, and that's enough to get him to move. I don't know. I don't care either, mate. He's, as far as I'm concerned, he turned into a wee rat for what he done there on Sunday. We're chasing a goal. If you want to make a point, I've not got a problem being in a bad mood, by the way, because as the guy's playing centre forward, and he's got a legitimate gripe there to say, hold on a minute, mate. I'm a centre forward and you're playing a winger at my position. What's going on here? I understand you don't want to play the other guy, Danilo, because he's already been playing a lot of football, or more than I've been playing. But I've not got a problem. He's got a gripe with that, mate, and quite rightly so. But the way to do that is come on, score the winning goal, and then kick his door down on the Monday and say, right, explain to me why I wasn't playing, man. This is no good enough. I want out of here if you're just not going to play me. That's the right way to do it, mate. But just to sit there and say I'm not going on, and then lie about an injury, and that's what you did. Beyond you lied about the injury.
I can't believe you've got no problem with somebody being in a bad mood,
mate. It's just, you know yourself. It happens, isn't it? There's nothing new. It's nothing new on all this. But it's professional football the new, mate. That's the way it works.
Are you happy, mate? Are you happy it's came to a quick conclusion and not turned into a pantomime soap opera with multiple parts, mate?
Okay,
if it's done, it's done. That's a positive, aye.
It's done, mate. Just move on. It's done. No point in actually get out now and try to read more into it. The trouble I've got is all the Martin haters and wanting them out and all that brigade. They're returning the interview on Sunday into something that really wasn't. He got asked the questions on Sunday and he was just answering questions. And the question led on to another question and he answered that as well. At the end of the day, man, what was he doing? That boy's throwing him under the bus, so he's just on there and protect him. Say myself, it's getting on here. You're either fit to play, you're no fit to play. But it seems to be that it's just Martin. So no matter what he's going to be doing or saying, nobody's going to like it anyway. They're just going to turn it around the other way. At the end of the day, he's trying to tell you something without telling you something what's happening behind the scenes at the moment. Whether you want to believe it or not want to believe it, but the proof of the pudding of what he's saying is on the park, mate. We're not playing well.
So for us, ultimately, that means we need another centre forward. You back with us, Robert?
Yeah, I'm here, mate. Apologies, technical as
That's all
always.
right, mate. Don't apologise, mate. Don't apologise for nothing. Yeah, all right. Give us your take on it, bro.
Sorry, Ox, you broke off again there. Might repeat that one.
It's no us, it's you, mate. Give us your take on it, mate.
I'm glad it's came to a quick conclusion. Obviously within the 48 hours, rather than it dragging on like it has done in the past. I think it's very disrespectful of a man taking a conducting himself that way. Not just to the manager and the club, but the fans, more importantly. I think you expect every player to at least give their effort on and off the park while they're still under contract and wearing the jersey. But if he doesn't want to be here, like you said, you take the money and you move on, and hopefully we go and recruit well in that area. We knew we needed to fix that issue of the forward line, particularly the number 9. So we've got a bit extra funds there to go and get somebody that could maybe add some quality and depth to the squad and might be the main focus going forward throughout the season, because there's obviously question marks about Dessers. Nilo doesn't cut it for me, so I kind of want to see us go for somebody that's a mainstay there.
Listen, Danilo doesn't look as if he's the answer, but he could be the only one left potentially. What's in the media is correct, Albert, but just need to watch this space. Yeah, stranger things have happened, and the 3 of them left. We've just got rid of the 3 left backs. We might get rid of the 3 centre forwards.
If that's the way, if that's the way it pans out, that's the way it pans out, mate. I've not got a problem getting rid of any of these players. They don't interest me in the slightest anyway. Eggman maybe different. I thought he had the potential to be a cracking player, but no with an attitude like that, he's not. That's disgraceful. Danilo and Dessers don't suit the way he's trying to play. That's what I think. I don't know who else thinks that. The left backs were the exact same. Ridvan, he's been here long enough. Too injury prone, too small, too injury prone. Robbie's never going to make it at the level we want him to be. And Jeffrey was just too much money to knock back, mate. Too much money at the right time, I suppose. You look at it that way. I've not got a problem with any of these players. And if they may leave, I've not got a problem with that either, mate. They have to be cleaned out anyway. I don't want anybody at the club as any of us used to that don't want to be here anyway. So go away. Then you get people like Matondo. He doesn't want to leave. He's having a great time, mate. He's getting paid a fortune for doing nothing, as was Davis. But at least Davis is away on loan. We'll get rid of him on loan, which basically brings his Rangers career to an end. So I've not got a problem with anything leaving, mate. But I don't like what the Iggerman done. That's just not right, mate. That's shocking. That's just shocking. Whether you like a manager, whether you don't like a manager, whether you think he's God knows what he's doing, whether you don't, that's just shocking, mate. It's not on. It's just not on.
The whole thing, if you start piecing it together, since coming back late, coming back overweight, another injury, but allegedly he's starting to question if there was another injury, or he just didn't want to get fit. I'd be interested to see how he goes going forward. But
he come back late with the excuse that it was visa problem, and that's his responsibility. So that visa, that's if there was, and that's what it was, visa problems, mate. I think it was just he didn't want to come back.
Right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll hear the second part of the manager's interview, and then we'll get the phone lines open. Yes.
Yep, on mute.
Let's hear from you.
Hi Russell, is it your belief that one big performance could really spark this team and give it that confidence to go on and play the way you want to see it play?
Yeah, I think it will settle the guys down a little bit. They need to feel evidence of it working. At the minute, we haven't been able to get over the line in the league games, but I've said to them, like, we've lost 2 games out of 9 together. We want to win every single game, so it's been frustrating, but it's also not like the end of the world. And this week can really change things for us and how people feel about it. How we feel about the work we're doing inside the building doesn't change. We work as hard as we possibly can on something to make sure the players understand what's really important, and we have to find some consistency and flow in that, and that comes with energy, really. So we have to maintain that all the time, and I'm excited about what the group can achieve. I really am.
The full-time scenes with the fans in Paisley was, I imagine, tough for you and the players to take. How are the players in terms of that mentality and
and the sort of mood within the camp after obviously seeing the fans' frustration almost turn to anger at yourself and the team?
So I think the guys that have been here would have seen it before. I've seen it before at previous clubs, and so like you can't be influenced or swayed by it. So on a professional level, you have to really focus. Then on a personal level, I'm sure some people will feel it way more than others. So I have the benefit in hindsight of being a player and then stepping away from it and then becoming a coach and manager and really understanding what it's for and what it's about. And also, like, there's an unwritten contract between players and a team and fans, and the team has to dictate the energy of the fans. I really believe that. So we didn't give them enough to... The last half hour, they were amazing. So during the game, they were brilliant. They have been. The second half last week, after a really difficult first half, they were brilliant. And I'm grateful for that. Then after the game and you haven't won, of course, there's going to be frustration. So I understand that. I think the players understand that. We've spoke about it. But there is, like I said, the unwritten contract between us and the fans is that we have to really define that and define the energy of the supporters. I don't think it comes the other way around. I really don't. So we have to do a bit more to make sure that we are giving them something to cheer about at the end of the game. I really believe that, and I really believe we will. So I'm not going to criticise the supporters one bit. They're the most important people at the club, and I think a lot of them understand what's going on and the change that was needed here and is necessary. And then there'll be some that are really unhappy because we're not winning as many games as they would like. So that's understandable, especially at this amazing football club. So, but I'm really calm and I'm really convinced that we'll change that energy, and the reaction at the end of the games when we're winning and we're in flow will be beautiful, and we'll all share it together.
Do you admit that although you want this process to continue and to be done right, that results need to start coming, though the fans' patience can only handle so much before they start turning to you?
Well, like, it's not my concern if they my concern is that I only have a problem if the owners then start turning to me or Kevin, and at the minute everyone is really calm. I think everyone understands inside the building that this is we want to win things this season for sure, and we're like 3 league games in, so nothing is lost. We qualified for the Europa League with a team that's going to look very, very different to the team that's probably playing games in a few weeks, and I'm really proud of that with the guys so early on in the process. So we have everything to play for. So despite the frustration of 3 draws in the league, we're not even in September yet. The transfer window's still open, and it's a long old season. So we're actually still in every competition that we're vying for. We'll have a chance in every competition. So whilst I let all the noise and all that stuff, the minute I let that affect me personally, will be a big problem for all of us. So and I think it's a strong point for us, the coaching staff, is that we'll keep on working and be consistent with the players because they need that. There's been a lack of consistency here for quite some time, so we'll be consistent, and I believe it will take us to big improvements and winning a lot and being real contenders for everything we play for.
Hi, Russell, you spoke there about how big a week this could potentially be for the whole club. Is that how you're framing it for the group as a week, or do you necessarily have to split it into those?
No, we've not spoke about Sunday yet, genuinely. Today, tomorrow, and the preparation for tomorrow's game has been the most important bit. I don't think you can ever start looking forward to the next game, whatever that game is. So get tomorrow out of the way, put performance in we're proud of, that the away fans, the travelling fans are proud of, that wins us the game, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Russell, you talked about the unhappy fans. There were some of them. You admitted that. How important is it to get those fans back on side and kind of unite the fan base as a whole, and how much will that affect the energy of the team as well? Yeah,
but like I said, I think football fans, wherever you are happy when their team's winning. So we have to do that for them, and then I'm sure we'll enjoy many brilliant moments together. We've had a couple already of nights where it's felt, Panathinaikos at home, away, Pilsen at home was fantastic. So we need to create more moments like that for them, and then to convince them that this is part of something. But every fan I've bumped into has been great, and really understands the need that the club needs something now, and the club has a really brilliant ownership group, some brilliant people in the club leading the club now with real clear path and plan, and they're all really calm. So I think like the frenzy sometimes, and the ups and downs and the highs and lows, and the real the gap between those sometimes has dictated probably the decision making of the football club, and I don't think it's helped it. So is my opinion anyway, and I think it's the opinion shared by most of the people inside the club. So we're here, we attack it, I'm really enjoying it despite the frustration at the moment we all feel, supporters and coaching staff and players, and we'll just keep working to be better and give everything we've got. And I think that's all you can ever do. So we're really clear on what needs to happen. We have a big week ahead of us. We have a big night tomorrow that we can all attack and try and enjoy, and then we'll look after the rest after.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, thanks for that, Fox. Robert, your thoughts, mate? We never really got a lot of clue what the team's going to be, but your thoughts?
Again, he's been honest, Fox. What I will say though is he keeps saying in every interview that we're going to attack, and we're yet to see it. I mean, we've got to have a go. The more I know we're 2 goals behind in the tie. You've got to get a go, and that's what I want. At least a bit of fight and a bit of dig to try and restore a bit of positivity and a bit of hope in the tie. And that's all we can really ask for. And again, a much better performance from the side in general. I don't know how we'll set up and how we'll approach it. I've been trying to think about it going forward. Obviously, you want to try and get back into the game early doors, but you also need to be tight at the back, which we've not been. So I'm keen to see how he sets it up, mate. But it can't be the same performances that we've seen in the previous games. That's for sure.
We're just sitting waiting, Robert. We're just sitting waiting on a good performance. That's all you're doing. Hoping they're going to get one. Eventually it'll come, I suppose, but we'd rather all have it sooner rather than later.
It's anticipation in it, Albert. You obviously you hear the words, you hear the interview, and he speaks well, but you've not seen it in action yet, and that's a frustration thing for us.
The words on the being born out on the park all better, aren't they? You know, interestingly, you said about the running against Bruges, but I would say that's because they were chasing shadows for the whole first half. They done that much running.
Oh well, he's. I think he was alluding to the second half actually. Anyway, it's. He's painting a picture without trying to paint the picture. If you know what I mean, he's trying to tell you things that's happening in the background that's affecting the team, and then he's trying to say to you, "Look, it will come better. There's no doubt about it." I mean, I don't know if it will. I'm not sitting here. I was saying, "No, I believe everything he says," or blah blah blah. All I know is we've got to start wearing this. We've no choice. We cannot sack managers, mate. It's got to stop. And if it takes all this season, all next season, well, so be it. I don't want that to happen. I really don't want that to happen. I've had enough watching crap football. But at the end of the day, we've had 9 managers in 10 years. And it's worse, actually. We've had 8 managers in 7 years because Gerrard was here for 3. So you've had 8 managers in 7 years, mate, and we can't keep saying it's the manager. It's not the manager. We keep sacking managers and saying that. If we sack this one, it's just going to be the same. What's going to change? Nothing's going to change. Absolutely zero's going to change. Say that with Clement, you sacked him too soon. I wouldn't have sacked him at all. But there you go, we sacked him, and still we've not moved on an inch. We've not moved on 1 inch because we've got the same problems. And if you sack him, the next man is in the same problems again. Ferguson had the same problems. Van Bronckhorst had the same problems. Beale had the same problems. Them all, every one of them, all the same problems, mate.
The way
it's
looking now. The way it's looking now is that by the time if the mouse change or Russell Martin, mate, by the time the 1st of September comes, there'll be nobody there for Beale, Gerrard, potentially Van Bronckhorst come on, mate, the way the people are starting to shoot at the door, mate. It's
well, let's hope.
I think you've got a bit of news for us, Robert. I think you've got a bit of breaking news.
I do, mate. If anybody's
how much is this game month worth tomorrow night if we win?
£40 million.
And why would that be, Robert?
Because you would qualify for the Champions League, mate, into the group phase, league phase.
And who wouldn't?
That would be the neighbours across the city They're out of the competition. They've lost 3-2 on penalties to Almaty.
The giants of European football.
So it's not Almaty on the night for them, mate. Hopefully it is for us tomorrow.
God. Albert.
One of them will get with thousands of listeners tonight, eh?
I wonder, I know it's highly unlikely, but would it be a laugh if we get a fruit result tomorrow night?
Aye. Oh, definitely, mate. That would be superb. That would be absolutely superb. Oh
dear.
Good news. Good news, mate. Oh, it's we've got to think of the country, but what we doing? Robert, get a grip of yourself.
Come on, you're out of order, Robert. What about the coefficient?
Aye, come on,
what about the face painter, Robert?
Listen, it's the best laugh we've had in a couple of weeks. We've got to allow it.
Oh, it's cheered us up. It's not half cheered us up.
Albert, did you know?
No, I even forgot they were playing. I didn't know. Look, seeing I say I don't pay attention to them at all. I just don't, mate. I'm not interested in them at all. That's good. That's good. That'll cheer Southside up and all. That'll make their journey a wee bit easier as well.
Well, you could walk around that changing room today and say, by the way, you get as a result as an extra $100,000 a man. Yeah?
Oh, aye. Big money now.
Aye.
Big money now. Well, we're in the Champions League longer than them, eh? So it's everything.
That's true, Albert. That's true. Yeah, that's true. And I know it's after Christmas, but they've not won a knockout tie that often since 2003, mate. But they seem to forget that.
That'll be airbrushed. That gets airbrushed at history. Mate.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. You shouldn't laugh. What about the coefficient, mate?
Oh, I know. I'm worrying about that now. That's scattered me, mate. That's shattered. I'll no sleep at night now. Hope you're happy with that. I'll no sleep. I'll think about it all night.
Yes. Yeah, they're a big force. I mean, they could win the competition, Almaty, really, couldn't they? If you think about it, yeah.
Did they not saying that somebody who mentioned there were 250th in the UEFA ranking?
I don't know, mate. I'll take your word for it.
I actually was when I heard it, I saying they talk about that mob across the city. They talk about that team they're playing because they're usually down there somewhere, I know, aren't they?
But it must be close. That's how you're hoping we could get a result tomorrow night. I mean, that's how we're maybe so frustrated about last week as well. You know, if we're still in the tie, it could have been really interesting. But small victories, mate. Yeah. You know.
It's a step forward, mate.
We joined with Josh. Evening, Josh.
You all right, mate? How are you? You all right?
Good to hear from you, mate. Yeah. You're a busy boy, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've just watched that penalty shootout, the Celtic game. I thought, you know, they were poor in terms of the Scottish team, you know, going into the European competition there. So, and they've travelled over 3,000 miles, I'm led to believe, to play that game. So I want to set the scene a little bit for Sunday and kind of like remind everybody that despite Rangers being 6 points behind after 3 games and they started with 3 draws, three underwhelming performances, 50,000 fans behind them on Sunday. If they can somehow get that result over Celtic, the table looks different. Celtic have got their heads down after that result. So, you know, the onus is now on Rangers to go in on Sunday, put that marker down, get the 3 points, claw the gap back to 3, and then all of a sudden, it's one of the worst starts in Rangers history. But you might only be 3 points behind. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. We spoke at length about the manager and about certain things that haven't quite worked out for him so far. But I think I was talking to the legend that is Barry Ferguson on the radio the other day, and you know he was pointing to the fact that you can't keep swapping and changing the manager. He was you know in the running for it in the summer was Barry, but he's optimistic about backing Russell. You know, he said like we need to get behind the manager, Mr. Martin, and you know as hard as that seems right now with what's going on, it only takes a result like that and the whole momentum shifts, doesn't it, boys? So that's in layman's terms really what my thoughts are on it. It's a big game on Sunday.
I'll let Albert come in with that because I think some of the things you're saying he thinks similar. Albert?
Well, I totally agree. Totally agree with no sacking managers. It's just got to stop, mate. It's just we've got whether you like it or not, we've got a good body of evidence there that you can actually analyse and find out what's actually happened. If anybody really wants to take the time to do it, mate. I'm talking within the club. I'm not talking the sport. I'm talking within the club. I mean, you've got 9 years here, 10 years here. Utter nonsense that's been happening. It's not to do with the old board, mate. They've done a fantastic job of saving this club, and I've got a lot of respect for every one of them on that board. They've done the right thing and got as new owners, and they were bought over now. That's fine. That's all fine, mate. But if you really want to move the club forward,
wait a minute, Albert. Just pause. Take a breath, mate. Please.
What for?
Robert going to give that score again.
It finished on penalties. Almaty 3. Neighbours across the city 2.
Carry on.
Oh dear.
Albert.
How can I follow that? Come on.
Come on, be professional, mate. Sorry, Josh. I know you're used to professional outfits, mate, but we can't let that go, mate. Sorry, mate.
It was a little bit kamikaze, but it'll do. It'll do, boys.
I would like to say it was rehearsed, but it wasn't. Albert, carry on.
So what I was trying to say is you've got the evidence there and you've got the history there to look at what's happened over the last 10 years. And if you want to analyse it, you say, why we not win the Scottish football? Why is the managers find it difficult to break down this low block? You've got all there to look at. And everything in my mind points to one thing. It's the calibre of player we're bringing in, mate. It's we can't afford to go up 2 or 3 levels. We need to go up 2 or 3 levels, but we can't really afford that. So what you're going to do is look at it another way and say, look, well, we need to win. That's a given. You need to win. So you need to find a way to win. At the moment, all we're doing is, we're not winning, sack a manager. Oh, we're not winning, sack a manager. Oh, we're not winning, sack a manager. It's not going to work, mate. It's got to stop. It's got to be worked to, not so much scientific. You've got to look at the body evidence in front of you and work out a way to win. And the way to win is physicality in Scotland. It's as simple as that. It's not in Europe, but it is in Scotland. So the 2-team system comes into it, doesn't it? You've got a team for Europe, a team for the domestic football. And we need to get some physicality into the team.
I don't know, mate. When I watched that Bruce team line up, they were a big, powerful, physical team as well.
If you get both, mate, if you get both physicality and technical ability, you're laughing. Look at Crystal Palace, look at Liverpool. Look at all the teams in the Premiership, to be honest with you. There's no many wee teams in the Premiership, is there?
Everton, maybe. Everton, they're a wee team, aren't they?
We played well on Sunday. I mean, if you're talking about the first game, maybe.
You might find us the better mood tonight, Josh, perversely.
Yeah, definitely.
Aye. Listen, I get it all, but recruitment's going to be better. At the moment, it still doesn't look as if it's better at the moment. You know.
There certainly does for that.
Aye. All right. Josh, how do you take it where we are, mate? Obviously, you study for afar. What's your take on it at the moment?
I think there's always that period when a new manager comes in, whatever the remit is. It takes a little bit of time on the training grounds to implement the new processes. But at a club like Rangers, as I've alluded to when I've been on with you in the past, the fans don't have the patience because it's a 2-horse race, notably in Scotland. So if you find yourself after 3 games, 6 points behind the old enemy, which is Celtic, isn't it? And they've won 13 out of 14 leagues, then that rings alarm bells straight away. So there isn't the normal organic thing of like, we've got a new manager, we'll kind of see how he goes, we'll bed him in, we'll let him shine the players and let them gel together and things like that. You have to come in with the iron fist and start getting results. And, from talking to Mr. Ferguson, I love talking to Barry because he's fair in everything that he says about Rangers and Celtic. He hasn't got the blinkers on. He just sees it from his own perspective. And that's kind of his argument. Like Philippe Coman was there, they sacked him. Gio Van Bronckhorst sacked him. Mr. Ferguson himself didn't get the time that he probably deserved, in my opinion, to build on what he was trying to build in terms of the reuniting of the club. He had apparently a list of transfer targets to a lot of Scottish-based players, and his argument is that you want to try and get as many of them as you can. The likes of the Lyle Camerons, he's been impressed with that side of it. The likes of the club at Dundee have developed like Luke McCowan and Lyle Cameron, and they've gone on to bigger and better things. So, Barry's argument is that the players are there within Scotland, and Rangers have landed on Cameron. He's a cracking little player, isn't he? You don't always have to go and spend like £4 or £5 million. So sometimes the answer's right in front of you in terms of recruitment. But yeah, we've spoke about Russell and his tendency to want to play out from the back without necessarily having the talent available to do that. So I think the whole thing's going to be like a Ruben Amorim kind of situation. He's sticking to his guns. He sticks to his philosophy. You know that when you appoint him as the manager, he isn't for flexibility. He is not for changing. So that's me. That's my rational thought on it. My actual thoughts on it is that, like, if I was in that boardroom now, I'd be basically saying that the Celtic game is more or less a cup final. And it sounds dramatic, but you're 4 games into a season and you could go 9 points behind Celtic. I mean, that has to be a win. I agree with the previous caller there about it, that it has to be a victory at all costs there in front of 50,000 expectant Rangers fans. So they've got to give the fans something, because so far this season, apart from that Pilsen game where they were outstanding to a man and it was a brilliant performance, I haven't seen a 90-minute display to get the Rangers fans off the edge of the seats and going home happy. So that's what I'm looking for on Sunday, a performance. And on Wednesday, a performance to take into Sunday. You can't go out there tomorrow and get beat 5-0, because that defeats the whole object of what this week's about. It's showing the improvements. It's showing signs that these players want to play for the manager, for me.
Well, we've not seen that yet, but we're hearing that there's, we're hearing things, and the managers are alluding to things, albeit that there's people there who have got eyes out the door. I think that was the term he used. So they're no all in, and if you're no all in, mate, it's never going to work. So if they want to go, get rid, mate. Get rid the best we can, yeah?
Yep. It's a case of they can't get rid just for the sake of getting rid without the money, mate. It's one of the catch-22s. But I'm agreeing with you. If they don't want to be here, go. Just go. But he's saying that some of them get the eyes out the door, and we can see it with our own eyes, mate. In fact, some of the suggestions is we'll close the dressing room. And I'm saying to myself, no, I thought we need to be careful, because the supporters might lose the players if we keep on booing them and doing what we're doing. Because let's be honest, if we're booing people coming onto that park all the time, booing them when they're coming on the park, booing them at half time, booing them at full time, who's going to want to play? They're going to go, all right, okay, I'll just sit and see my contract out and just to get paid. Boo all you want. You're trying to stimulate them and support them and do the things that we normally do any time. We've done it for years and years, mate. Boo them when they have bad games. Don't mind that, mate. But at the end of the day, we're just booing all the time now. It's just, we're not even cutting anybody any slack now. It's just boo, boo, boo. Aye, okay, we're not playing well. We all know that. But at the end of the day, you still need to support the team. You need to be together. It's a joint effort here, by the way. And that's it. He was alluding to
what
his
you're
interview.
saying is, when things aren't going well and it's maybe getting near half time, we should be singing Ibrox Sonia to get behind the team and lift the stadium. Is that the point you're making?
Oh, no comment.
Okay.
No, I know. I mean, you could. You don't. I'm the wrong one to ask about that song.
All right,
honestly.
okay, mate. I just thought I'd put that in. Robert?
No, listen, I agree with what Albert's saying. Obviously, we haven't seen it. We haven't seen what he's telling us in his interviews. And as Josh says, that we need to go and attack these things, and we can't just keep sacking managers. And I'll be honest, I was in the same camp as Albert. I didn't think we should have sacked Clement, and I certainly didn't particularly want Russell Martin. But he's here. It's not been great at all. It's not been anywhere near good. I mean, great. But at the same time, I'll still support whoever's in charge. But ultimately, you've got to see performances on the park that give you something to support. And if it's not coming, the fans will voice their opinion. And I get what Albert's saying about booing, but it's what we've done over the years. Every manager's been exposed to it. Every player's been exposed to it at times. I mean, look at Tavernier alone. People are calling him to get out the team. Now they're crying for him to go back in the team. And it's just at that point where we're in this conundrum of how toxic could it get, or how quickly can it get fixed? And hopefully, as Josh says, we've got 2 big games coming up starting tomorrow night that you can go and put a performance in. If you don't qualify, yes, you'll be down, but see if you see a bit of performance, a bit of fight, and a bit of spirit, that's a step forward from what we've seen. And then you go into Sunday, and you're against a team who's, as Josh said, heads down. Their fans are on their back, and if we go and get a result against them, the table kind of turns, but it is only 1 game at a time. But I think it's what we're kind of talking about is how do the fans react to these decisions that tactics are made, substitutions are made. The fans are going to boo. I think Martin knows that himself. He's experienced it as a player, and he will be frustrated with it. But it's ultimately the fans at the football club that's the most important people. So you've got to please them first and foremost.
Yeah, but I don't think you can manage a football team worrying about what the fans think, mate. If I'm really honest, mate, you have to make the right decision. Either that, or we run the team by a poll every week and we'll let everybody pick a team. I just don't think that's going to work. If he thinks, well, I'm not a fan of Kieran Doyle, right? Like a lot of people, and I thought he would. He was on All Bears list, and that says everything you want to know. Yeah. But if Martin thinks he's the guy, he come on with 20 minutes to go if we need the goal tomorrow night, the manager's got to pick the team. The fans' point of view, I mean, I would rather have maybe Curtis come on, but he might see something that we don't, and that's his job. If you don't let him do that, if he's thinking, I can't put Doyle on because the fans will not like it, he might as well walk now. If I'm honest, all better than Josh.
That's right, mate. He's going to live and die with his own decisions. And I like a man to say, okay, I'm making a decision. If I'm going to get sacked, it's all my decisions. And they were my decisions. I'm not going to just, they're all booing. I better tell no, put him on and pull him away and put somebody else on. And will they cheer for this player? So you've got them all lined up and you point to them and you want to cheer for him. And then once you get a cheer, that's who's going on. It's nonsense.
So going to call us minute thumbs up or down.
Aye, thumbs up or down, aye. But it's the bottom. We have seen these players they're not playing well, and they don't look if they're interested. We have seen it, mate. We've seen it in the 3 league games. We've not seen it in Europe, but we've seen it in the 3 league games. Some of them don't look like Diomande, for example. I'm not saying he's wanting. I don't know the ins and outs of what's happening in the background. But Diomande has not kicked a ball this year. Raskin's not playing well. You're looking at Suter as well. He's not playing well. He's more worried about getting an extension. His contract. I don't ever imagine he'd be wanting out the door. He's wanting an extension. He's wanting a new contract. So you're looking at these players. You're looking at Dessers up front. But he's saying Dessers is training well and he's professional. But if he's wanting away, he's wanting away. Fair enough. I've not got a problem. Players wanting away. You want away. Sure you go. But don't mince about. This is the things that we're talking about. He's trying to rebuild the team. And all we're getting is the new players coming in. No, if they're not playing well, you've got nothing now. You've got the old players who want away, no giving them 100%, and you've got the new players in who are not playing well. It's a recipe for disaster, mate. And that's what's happening. It's a disaster. In fact, it's quite a minor miracle we're actually qualified for at least the Europa League and get European football to next year. So you're looking at that and saying to yourself, well, if you look at that point of view, he's doing no bad. He got a £5 million bonus, plus he's got you millions of pounds, multiple millions of pounds for the Europa League guaranteed. All right, we're 6 points behind the league after 3 league games. Well, that's bad. As he's saying, it's not the end of the world. The league's no done. There's nothing done or nothing settled yet, mate. There's still a lot to play for. And this is us playing hopeless, mate. Absolutely hopeless. Let's be honest about it. As Josh said, we've only really played 1 game this season, and that's that European tie at Ibrox. So if you look at it from that point of view, there's only one way for us to go. It's up, mate. Let's be honest about it. So we've got to start playing better eventually, mate. Looking at. Oh, so they are. I mean, I don't particularly like his style of football, what he's talking about. I don't like it, mate. But if it works, it works. I hope it works. I hope it proves us all right, as we all do.
Josh, your take on it, mate?
I heard Finlay Curtis' name mentioned there, and you've had a 15-year-old come on the pitch for Arsenal, Max Dalman. He had a brilliant performance. The 16-year-old for Liverpool last night. So my argument is, boys, that if these players are good enough, they're also old enough. I'm sick of hearing this thing all the time, this rhetoric about, oh, he hasn't got the experience, he's not, he isn't in the prime position to be starting games or whatever. That Curtis has proven for me in the fleeting spells that he's been on the pitch that he's good enough to merit a Rangers jersey. He puts 100% effort in as well, unlike the likes of Igamani, who will probably come on to later on with that debacle. But from what I saw from Curtis, particularly in that St Mirren game, the way he dragged us back into it, it kind of reminded me of those performances I saw at the weekend from Max Dalman and Rio from Liverpool. And I'm an Evertonian, and I'm saying that, like, the 16-year-old comes on and grabs the winner last night. It's the stuff that dreams are made of, isn't it? And I've seen him play in the FA Cup for Liverpool as well. He has natural ability. He has that no fear about him. He takes players on, and you often get that with young players. You remember, to a higher degree, a young Wayne Rooney coming through at Everton, and he had that similar thing. He was turning Sol Campbell inside and out, Lucas Radaby, experienced defenders. And like from a raw perspective with players like Finlay Curtis, that frees up a spot, doesn't it? You don't have to go in the transfer market maybe, because you've got the ready-made product coming through your youth system. And that's something that's lacking at my club, Everton. We're having to pay 40 million here, 30 million there to bring in the finished article because we can't develop our own players. There's something within the academy system that's stopping us doing that. Whereas it looks at Rangers that the future's a little bit bright, and by giving these lads the opportunity, I was saying to you about Russell the other week about how he brought the likes of Tyler Diblin through and people like that. He is going to give youth an opportunity. Yeah, but he is going to give that youth an opportunity to flourish and develop. And then just going off on a tangent, you're on about booing players and confidence. The likes of Adam Eder at the team over the other side, Celtic, there, missed the penalty tonight in that shootout, and he was always going to miss it. I knew when he was walking up. The fans have got on his back that much, and his performances have merited a bit of criticism, don't get me wrong. But I think, from being a couple of years ago a £9 million striker, he's now probably going into Sunday's game wondering if he's going to start it, because he was on the bench today. So there's that thing, if fans start getting on the backs of players repeatedly, and the other caller was quite right in what he said, though, that the frustration's building and the fans have got a right to an opinion, yes, but you are ultimately there to support your team through thick and thin as much as you can. And that chorus of boos after the Bruges game, boys, like you're playing an elite European team there. There has to be some mitigation given. And yeah, I'll admit the first 2 goals were an embarrassment. They were a joke from a defensive point of view. But you're playing against one of the best in Europe. So there has to be a little bit of like realism here, boys. You know what I mean? Like people expected Rangers to be competing in that tie. For me personally, I didn't expect them to go through, but I want to see a performance tomorrow that merits this what I'm saying now to back me up on it. Because I honestly think they can compete with these teams, but you can't expect the results all the time at that level. You can certainly expect one on Sunday and a performance on Sunday, because that's an absolute given now that has to be. Because if you go 9 points behind Celtic and you're in the Europa League rather than Champions League, doesn't that put a massive dent straight away in the whole prospects of this season, really? Because you've had great runs in the Europa League in the past, but in an ideal world, a club like Rangers, like, you want to be competing at the highest level with the best teams to learn how to develop in Europe. And that's what the Bruges tie for me was going to give you.
I agree with most of your sentiments up to the Aida point, mate, and then I would just say, oh well. Robert?
You're right, Josh, and as you're saying there, like, if you go 9 points behind in Europa League, I've said since the start of the season that we know we've got these qualifiers coming up, and as Albert said, the Panathinaikos game at Ibrox, best performance that we've had, but we also rode our luck in that game as well. There was a couple of chances and times where Panathinaikos looked very dangerous, and it could have been different. We could already be out of the Champions League, but we've still got a small chance. But if you, as you said, if you go in to tomorrow night and you get a performance, the result might come. All right. I mean, I don't think we'll have enough to overturn the tie, but I want to see a performance that, as Josh says, we can get a bit of confidence and a bit of positivity back that can lead into Sunday, because we all know league's the bread and butter. Europe's always a bonus. Of course, you want to be in the Champions League for the financial aspect, but what I've said, Josh, is just now with where we are and where we've been in previous seasons, Europa League seems to suit us as a club at our level. As much as we want to take that extra step, right now, again, only based on what we've seen, it might be a step too far too early, because you go back to the last time we were in the Champions League, Liverpool, Ajax, it was horrendous, and it exposed a lot of players to the level they actually are. So it's not the worst if you go to Europa League, but you certainly want to go again and close that gap in the domestic season.
I think the thing about it is, if we're really honest, the people qualifying for the Champions League, it's not to do with football. It's only to do with finance. Yeah, and if with some miracle we get a result tomorrow night, our club will be delighted, and there'll be phone calls for agents that we wouldn't have got all there in the next few days. Yeah.
I mean, if we get an unlikely result and win that game tomorrow and go through, right, that takes the club giant steps in its recovery. It really does, mate. And the owners will be delighted, mate. They'll be absolutely delighted, man. They'll want a statue, Russell Martin, if he actually gets this done and gets us into the Champions League. It's a fact, mate. It's just a cash register. That's all it is, mate. So I mean, it's all right for the English clubs and the Premiership clubs. Oh, they're getting into it with. Some of them are get aspirations of actually winning it. Other ones are in it saying, well, you never know. We could maybe get the later stage and win it. You never know. We're getting in it just for pure cash, mate. We're just cannon fodder. That's what it is. The rest of Europe's the same. Apart from maybe a couple of teams, Bayern Munich, PSG, Barcelona, Real Madrid, teams like that. But the rest of the competition, I can't remember how many, 60 odd teams in it, the Champions League. You're talking about 58 of them, maybe 56 of them. It's just cannon fodder, mate. They just make up the numbers. Let's be honest about it. And we're all in it for just go as far as you can, get your big paycheck and move out, and hope for next year you get it next year. That's all, mate. It's not a competition as I see a competition, a football competition, that you're in it to win it. You're not in it to win it at all, mate. We're kidding ourselves on. We're all kidding ourselves. And even the Europa Cup's even getting that difficult now. Some of the quality teams that are in that now. And I said this a couple of years ago, within the 5 years, I said you'll find it difficult to win to get the final and even have a chance of winning that. And we're now down to the Conference League. And look who won the Conference League last year. I mean, Chelsea, who are a quality team. It's ridiculous, mate. The gap between the finances is just too big. It's too big, mate. It cannot be bridged now. It's out of sight now. It's completely out of sight. And that's why they're wanting Super Leagues now.
Well, they've got it. I think there's 7 English teams in the Champions League, so they've got their Super League. And that's another story then. So the gaps for them in it, and the haves and have-nots. Josh, it's a story right through Europe, yeah?
Oh yeah, 100% is. But I mean, it's about slowly trying to close the gap. I'm not talking about picking up these amazing results back right and centre. You've hit the nail on the head. It was about the financial windfall for Rangers, and they have had some great times in the UEFA Cup. I mean, they got to the final in 2008 that I watched at Old Trafford with, Barry was captain then, wasn't he, with Walter Smith, and they signed David Weir from Everton. They had a good core of experienced players there, and they were able to pick up some great scalps. And then as recently as 2022, they were a penalty shootout away from actually winning the thing. So I think for a club like Rangers, I mean, the league and the cups are always your bread and butter. If you said to Russell at the start of the season and your fan base, what's your ambitions for the season, they'd say push Celtic close in the league, close the gap, and pick up a couple of domestic trophies or one or the other of the domestic trophies, and have some good cup runs and try and close the gap through that. And then the European thing is a bit of a bonus, right? Like when I was coming on last year, when Barry had took over, there was that wave of optimism came back through the club, through the European performances. The fans were going to these away games, enjoying it. They saw it as like an extension of the season that had petered out in a terrible way, hadn't it? So, the Europe was something to cling on to it at the end of the season, to kind of, they had a few good performances and a few good results, and that led to morale being slightly higher. But yeah, I'm totally in agreement that the league is always the bread and butter. You even ask a Liverpool fan or a Man City fan, do you want to win the league or the Champions League first? And they'd always say, let's get the league done, because it's over 38 games, right? You're climbing the mountain, and it's proof that you're the best in your domestic scene if you can do it over a 38-game season. I mean, the Champions League and UEFA Cup are knockout competitions really now. and they always have been, haven't they? Like the knockouts, it's all about on the day. Whereas a league over 38 games, you can't argue with the results, can you? Like the best team wins the league for me because it's over 38 matches. I don't know what it is in Scotland, but in England it's 38 games.
38
yeah.
match split. Right, lads, get yourselves some mute because we're going to have a tune.
Sure, I was dreaming of old Ibrox, of her slopes and great grandstands, and I dreamed about the Rangers, the best team in the land. When my memory suggested of a vision bright and clear, of the strange things that would happen if we had the Rangers here. Now if the road to Ibrox Park way up the Shankill, and Brian Laudrup came from Sandy Road, and Alistair Boyce came from East Belfast, and old Belfast became then old Glasgow. If the Rangers met the Celtic up at Windsor, sure no green flags at that game they would appear. Ulster's sons would never roam, and all the boys would stay at home if we only had the Rangers over here. I dreamed about her Ulster men who wore the shirt of blue, Bertie Mander and Sam English, Norrie Hamilton, McCandless too. I have dreamed of Whitey McDonald, who came from Lisburn town, and the greatest Billy Simpson, who never let them down. Now if the road to Ibrox Park way up the Shankill, and Brian Laudrup came from Sandy Road, and Ali McCoyce came from East Belfast, and then old Belfast became old Glasgow. Met the Celtic up at Windsor, then no green flags at that game they would appear. Ulster's sons would never roam, all the boys would stay at home if we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had Glasgow Rangers over here.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, thanks for that, Mr. Fox. I believe you've got some more breaking news for us, Rob. Albert, hang on to your hat.
Got a message from our good pal AK letting us know the Euro rankings. I know you asked earlier on, Albert. Celtic ranked 56, Almaty 311.
Oh dear. It's disgraceful, isn't it? It's disgraceful. They've shamed the Scottish football with other antics. Now they're shaming them with European results. It's not right. Sorry, Josh, you have to witness this. I'm taking a red face here with a shambolic mob across the city.
Hi, and then
somebody who sat through it You know what I mean? I've sat through the whole 180 minutes of that, and they never really. Well, they had a chance at the end with Maeda. It was a one-on-one chance, and he put it over the bar. But apart from that, they never looked like scoring. And it's like you've just said, it's a team that's 300 odd in the world, in Europe. Sorry, you know, the onus was on them in that first game to put a marker down, and they didn't do that. And they've ultimately had the fingers burnt in. It was a horrific pitch, that, and horrific conditions and all the rest of it. And the travelling 3,500 miles, they're all excuses that can get thrown in. But at the end of the day, you know, whether it's Rangers or Celtic, like the two of the biggest clubs, and they should be able to comfortably take care of ties like that. So I'm totally with you. I mean, as Rangers fans as you are, I mean, you have to kind of enjoy moments like that where your bitter rivals have come unstuck against, you know, teams that offer pretty much nothing over 180 minutes themselves. They want to soak the pressure up and get to penalties, and they played right into
it's
the
actually
it's
the cash, Josh. It's the cash. That's us took another step closer now, off the park activities cash wise. That's a huge step forward now for Rangers, and it will be a real giant step if Rangers get through tomorrow night, which is no looking likely. But if we do get through, it is a giant step. That's why we're so happy. You like seeing them getting beat any time, anything, but in any competition. But we're thinking more financial, because this is the first year in 12 years that we've actually made strides to close that gap. This is the start of it, mate, and it's not going to finish yet. This is just the start of Rangers rising again.
Yeah, and they've maybe been a little bit complacent, Celtic, haven't they? They've been waiting to get through this tie because they've no doubt spoke to players who've said, if you get through in the Champions League, I'll come and join you. But now they've ended up with egg on the face because they've waited too long, and you know, the squad looks paper thin to me as well, which gives you hope for Sunday and beyond. They started with Yang on the wing, and in an ideal world, I don't think he's anywhere near their starting 11. You've got Maeda playing through the middle instead of out wide. You've got, as I said, your 9 million striker on the bench. So these are all things taken into Sunday, as I said right at the top, that, you know, Rangers can pick at. You know, they can sort of look at the 3,500 mile trip as being that barrier. They can look at the two performances Celtic have had in Europe, which are on the whole not up to the standard of where Scottish football's striving to be and developing. You know, where they were last season, getting to the last 16. So they've dropped massively in terms of their performance, and every Celtic fan knows that, and every Rangers fan knows that. Like you said, they've got a new manager, they've spent money in the transfer window, and it's about the P word, patience. But whether you get that, I don't know. But closing the gap on Sunday would be a monumental step now off the back of that, wouldn't it? To rub Celtic's nose in it. You haven't got through in Europe when you thought you were going to twaddle through the tie. I heard people saying we're going to win 4-5-0, and I said that's not how European football works. It never has been and never will be. You have to take care of what's in front of you. And Rangers have a puncher's chance tomorrow. They've got a 5% chance, I reckon. I like all the words of Martin O'Neill and people like that. You know, Rangers have got half a chance, really, like a 5% chance. You know what I mean?
Obviously, you get the first goal. You get the first goal, Josh. It becomes interesting, but we are realistic on here. We can't see us keeping a clean sheet the way we've been playing, mate. But you can still get a fluke result, yeah, at any level of football, yeah.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, I've spoke about that when I've been on in the past, the lack of clean sheets, and it's kind of becoming a running joke when I'm coming on. I feel like I'm saying the same things every week, but if you keep that clean sheet, you win those 3 games 1-0. Like, it sounds silly, it sounds schoolboy, but it's the truth, isn't it? If you cut out them bad goals that you're conceding and the red card against Dundee, individual errors mainly and systematic errors, you know, you win them 3 games 1-0, and then the season looks very different. But you can't keep going behind, giving goals away. I was listening to Barry Ferguson when he was talking about it, saying even when he was in charge, giving themselves mountains to climb in games by conceding the first goal, going 1-2-0 down. Like, that isn't Glasgow Rangers. Like, for me, like you know, growing up watching Celtic and Rangers, it was all about getting an early goal against the lower teams and then putting the hammer down, winning 5-6-0, like making statements and getting results. And you certainly don't do that defending the way Rangers have largely been defending this season.
Right, come and join us, give your thoughts. I'm going to put the two boys on the spot for the team. what they think the team will going to be, because there's a lot of question marks about my selection tomorrow night. I'll go to Robert first. Robert, what's your take on it and how do you see it?
I think there'll obviously be some changes from Sunday. Obviously Dessers is back fit, so I think he comes in because, as I say, I don't think Danilo's going to cut it. Butland obviously in goal. Back four, Tavernier, Suter, Giga will probably come back in. Magoma, the left back. The midfield's a question for me, Ox. Raskin, Cameron, and I think it probably have to be Diomande. I can't think. I don't think Rothwell should start.
You picking him on form? You picking him on form, mate?
Not on form, mate, but I've just not seen enough of Basgard yet. And I don't think Rothwell deserves a start on his form. So you're kind of left with Diomande in that position. And then a free of Gassama, Dessers, and I'm going to fling a spanner, and I think he'll start Finlay Curtis over Antman.
Wow. Albert?
No, I don't think that'll be the team, mate. It's going to be Butland, Tav, Suter, Jigger, the new boy, what's his name? Magoni or whoever.
Magoma.
Raskin, Rothwell and Cameron. And up front will be Gazama, Antman and Dessers. Curtis will not get broke, but Curtis should be used the way he's getting used, mate. Bringing him on and letting the boy score goals like that, because everybody likes him and he's got a good reputation. You put him into that team the way he's playing at the moment, mate. He'll be starting to take part of the blame of his not playing well. So he's kept himself. And Martin's kept him out of all that. He's kept him fresh. He's kept him away from all the nonsense that's going on at the moment. And he comes on and scores goals. And you go, right, perfect, mate, perfect. Yeah, at the moment, he's a good impact sub. And I would keep him like that. Just for the moment. I'd want him in the team eventually, but just for the moment, mate. And I think he'll do that.
You got him on the bridle, Bell. You got him on the bridle.
Aye. And we need a goal tomorrow night. Who better to bring on than the boy Curtis?
You both took Aaron's at the team. Brought back Tav.
Aye.
Rationale.
Aye.
Albert.
Because he come on and done. See, the trouble with Tav is he looked good on Saturday because Sunday because he's only playing 15, 20 minutes a game now. And that's what he is. Because his age, whatever. Right. And Arns isn't playing well at the moment. I still think Arns is going to be the better player. But no, at the moment he's not. But I don't think he'll take a chance.
I honestly don't see Aaron's ever been able to look. What we've seen and what we've witnessed, I don't see him be the answer. So far, stranger things have happened.
So far.
He's
only played 3 games.
With Aaron's?
Aye, 3 or 4 games or whatever he's played.
He's
ranking positions and all that. I know. I know, but you can't rate a player after that. I mean, we watched that for 10 years. You know what I mean? Get a grip. So eventually, time will tell. Anyway, I think he will. I think he'll come good. But he's not playing well now. It is they deserve to be in the team. I'm a great believer. If you're after,
just admit it. It takes a big man to admit they're wrong, mate.
But you'll be eating your words. Don't worry about that. You'll be eating your words.
Okay. Listen, mate.
The boy will prove you wrong.
I'll have to eat a big slice of humble. I can do it, but remember. Right, okay, what's your rationale? What's your rationale then, Robert? Take that and yeah?
Just what you've said, mate. He's not played well. Obviously, he started off in the left back zone, looked very uncomfortable. And the games we've seen at right back, he's not shown me anything that would dislodge Tav from that position. I know Tav's had his critics over the years, and at times it's merited criticism. But again, I wouldn't have dropped him last week for the home leg. I think he brings experience, and even on Sunday when he came on, you seen a a change. I know we changed the system, and I know we had a lot of players on the park pushing for a goal, but you seen the impact that it had, even just getting forward and trying to get forward with the passing. I just think it's a game where you maybe need to rely on his kind of experience at the back. As much as you can come in for criticism defensively, going forward, I still think there's something that he can produce that Aarons hasn't showed. And I'm the same as yourself, mate. I don't think Aarons has done anything to show that he's came in to at least challenge or take the jersey from Tav.
Yeah, okay, it'll be interesting to see what the manager does. You know, if you were picking people in form, I don't think Aarons is playing, I don't think Rothwell's playing, and I don't think Diamandi's playing. And the Ant-Man's not been great, but we'll give him a wee bit of a pass. People will start questioning if he carries on with the performances, yeah. Rothwell, Aarons, and Diamandi. I think we've been joined, believe it or not, by another Josh. Evening, Josh.
Good evening, boys. How are you doing? All right?
All right. We're going to have to call you Josh too, mate, because we've got two Joshes on the call.
That's all right. That's fine by me.
All right. Your old man was busy, mate. Carry on.
So I've just watched 180 minutes that I'll never ever get back in my life with that mob across
Why did you put yourself through that?
Well, it was worth it now that they're out the Champions League.
Right.
It was worth
I'm
it
going to
now.
give you a wee bit of advice that was given to me many years ago, mate. Yeah. You'll take note of this, mate. Always record it. And then if it's comedy gold, you can watch it. If it's no, you just delete it.
Well,
carry on.
Anyway, Josh, how was it?
Whilst there's YouTube, I can sit after work and watch the penalty kicks.
Yes.
It was just comedy gold. Listen, Engels £11 million, crap. Ida £9 million, crap. Krusty, a bomb scare. There's nothing to fear. I just wanted to phone up to say that I'm very, very confident on Sunday that we will beat Celtic, because watching that last week and tonight, that's the worst Celtic team that I've ever seen in my life. And I have nothing to fear about Sunday. Nothing. I think we'll get the job done on Sunday. I think this could catapult Russell Martin's managerial career if he gets the tactics right at home. I'm confident on Sunday. That's what I wanted to say to you guys. I mean, we've sorry.
I'm liking this, Josh, too. Carry on, mate.
We've had Celtic's card marked the last few games, even when we beat them at Celtic Park in the last game. That Celtic team that we beat was a far, far better team than the night. And there's nothing to fear. I have nothing to fear. I think we'll get 3 points. I think we'll get the 3 points on Sunday, because they're in the mire. They're just papering over the cracks. It's like, I know we're in a bad place to know, but we need to just I think we just need to give the manager and let the players settle in a wee bit. All this call for Russell Martin to go, I just want to give the guy a chance. Give the guy a chance. It's only been 3 games. Do you know what I mean? And a few European ties, but I think he'll come good, Russell Martin, for us. I really do.
Josh, when you watched the game, do you see it similar?
Yeah, I just saw a very lacklustre Celtic performance, an uncharacteristically poor Celtic team from what we've seen. Especially under Brendan Rodgers taking over from the well-oiled machine under Postecoglou. I just think, something isn't right, and I alluded to that recruitment earlier, that they haven't maybe got that right, because they've dillied and dallied and waited. And there's definitely players there who are thinking that if Celtic get through, I'll come and join them. If they don't, I won't. So they'll be scrambling round now, looking for transfer activity. They'll be under pressure, like, you know, Celtic fans are shouting "sack the board" at them and things like that. So, you know, there is potential that if Rangers win on Sunday, their situation becomes toxic, and then Rangers' situation becomes a little bit less toxic because, football's driven by these results-based metrics, and if you get a result like that against Celtic in the straits that they're in now, I'm telling you, the balance of power ever so slightly shifts because they've had one of the worst starts for years, Rangers, 3 points from 3 games, but they could be 3 points behind Celtic on Sunday, quite conceivably. They've got home advantage, and if the Ibrox crowd get behind them right from the minute goal, which they will do, and Rangers manage to get an early goal or something like that, I think, you know, Celtic are in for a long, tough afternoon on Sunday.
Right. What about the morning night, Josh, too?
I think we've got history of putting in fantastic performances away. I think we've got a chance. If we plays the right team, I would play Raskin in the midfield. I would go away Connor Barron if he had game time, but the young lad isn't in favour. I would stick away for Rothwell. I think he is absolute mince. And I would play Tav. I would play Tav at the back. But if he gets the tactics right, we've got a chance. We have a chance. You never say never. Never say never.
Never surrender, mate. Never surrender. Never surrender. All right, we'll be joined by David. Evening, David.
Evening, everybody.
How are we doing, mate?
I'm doing good. I had a wee question for you. See if he wins this tie and the Old Firm, do you think he'll get any credit back?
Oh, big time for me. Robert?
Even David, it's certainly a start. And obviously if you qualify for the Champions League and you beat your rivals, it's a great thumbs up. It gets one over on them. I think there's obviously a lot of pressure just now on them. But ultimately, if you get a result tomorrow night that puts you through and you do beat your rivals, it's a great stepping stone. It's a great foundation to build on. But what we've got to be wary of is we've seen that before where we get a positive result, maybe midweek in Europe, then a positive result at the weekend in the league, and we think we're getting it right, we're clicking, we're back, and then it hits us again and we get into that kind of lull, and that's when it tests the players and management's resiliency and mentality. But it'd be a great start, to be honest, David. It would be a great start, and it would turn the kind of tables a wee bit, as Josh too was saying, that it turns their situation completely on its head and it gives us a more positive outlook. So it'd be a great start, mate.
Olga.
Aye, definitely. It's not the end game, as Robert's saying. It's just the start. If it does pan out that way now, it's a big ask to say it's going to pan out that way. But it's there in front of you now, mate. It's there in front of you. Start to get this season back on track. The European stuff aside, we're already got that sorted out with the guaranteed Europa football. But now you're looking at it and saying, now if you get these 2 results, we're up and running now. We're starting to make some progress. The team that is making some progress. But again, you need to defend against complacency, as Robert's just alluded to there, because that's normally what happens. We've made it, relax now, and then bang, another stupid result. But aye, definitely, mate. It shows that it can be done. If he can get these results, it shows it. It shows that he can get results. He can get the team playing.
Yeah. What's your take on it, David? What do you think?
It's just I'm not seeing anything for him yet. That's the main thing, and it's all the stuff happening behind it as well. The Gimani situation and some of his comments.
Just to give an update on that. Just to give an update on that, STV are reporting, and we've not had it confirmed, but STV are reporting that Leo will have met the 12 million release clause to sign Igaman.
Aye, I've seen an interview saying that the he expects them to pass the medical, so he was refusing to play, which is just not on. But I'm on both sides of that, to be honest with you, because a manager has got to give you something to believe in, but at the same time, if a player just doesn't want to play, there's nothing you can do about it. But I don't know. I think it's maybe because a lot of us seen a good man and we're like, this guy's going to be something special, and hope to could hold on to him. But if at the end of the day, if a player's like that, there's nothing you can do.
Listen, mate. If you actually look at it, if it was that close and it was going to happen, it didn't even make sense to have him in the squad at the weekend. Yeah, if you'd have £12 million, it's considering that level of finance in Scottish football, it's quite a frightening amount. And the money keeps rolling in for players who were, well, he wasn't on your list, Albert, was he? He wouldn't be. I don't think he was on your list. No, he is now.
No.
I think see this window, we've raised more money in this window than they have in the previous 5, if my maths is right.
Well, we Jeffy, Ridvan, and Igaman. It's what do you reckon? Close to what's your maths? Close to 20 million.
Oh, it's that or 20? It's between 20 and 22 million.
Between Jeffy and Igaman alone, it's 14 million profit.
From what I've read, every one of them's got a sell-on cost as well.
I'm interested to see where that in there with Igaman. If he's going to be that attitude, you might not need to worry about that, mate. You know, he could be the next Morelos who you think's going to go to better things and then just slowly peters out again. Because hardly, 2 years later, he's hardly kicked a ball. But you never know. And then you'll get Proper, the money in for Proper as well. Albert, he was on your list.
Well, he was on the list, definitely. Fraser, money in for him as well. He was on the list. You could say you get money in for Davis because you're saving his wages now. Anyway. No, it's about 22 million. I'm writing 22 million for them. What we've got back in. Maybe a wee bit more, actually, but I would say that's a conservative estimate, which is, he's right. Josh too's right. Or David's right. That's more money than we've had in 5 years. Or since the Patterson and Bassey carry on.
Well, they were at different times, mate. One, obviously, Patterson was under Gerrard and Bassey and Reborn that were under Van Bronckhorst, mate, yeah.
But I'm saying it's round about that. No, that money. I'm talking about that money. That's the last time we get real decent money.
Evening, Smurf.
Evening, Ox. Evening, gents. I'm just feeling a wee bit calmer now. I've just read there they've been humped out. So there's no 40 million for them this year. Yet we still get a chance of getting it. Slim chance, but a chance. And here we are, all clamour. Here we are clamouring for his scalp. And if he qualifies for that Champions League, we'll build a statue for him. Oh, dear me.
In fact, I've got you doing to cut the ribbon, Smurf.
I saw long. No, look, I think when you look at it, right, I don't know if this financial fair play, how much of this is hampered the spend, etc. If you look across our back line, we've got rid of 3 left backs. Cav looks like he's in his final year. If Big Soapy doesn't sign a contract or they move him on, we've got 3 defenders in on loan. You could be starting next season with the big boy we got for, is it Peterborough? And he's been out that long I forgot his name. What's his name? Sterling. Is there only 2 defenders next season? And so there's really going to be.
The window's not closed yet, and you've got another window.
No, I know that, and we've got the January window and all. But what I'm saying is, in some ways, it looks sparse, but they've taken a bass broom to it, really, haven't they? And it needed it, and there's more still to go. He's a dustpan and brush now, doesn't it? And
Well,
and then
Allbear's list is slowly shrinking, mate. Yeah, Allbear, it's shrinking, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, mate. It's definitely getting there. It's definitely getting there. It's and it has. It's worth saying it had to be done, mate. It's not that I've come up with an idea or I've identified players that you should have went that nobody else seen. Everybody's seen them. Everybody knew the players that should have won, and they're starting to go now. And it's we might look sparse at the beginning, but we'll eventually start getting a stronger team stroke squad. It's going to come. It's definitely going to come. And the fair play, I don't even think comes into it now, mate, because you've got to bear in mind. I just found out this window that the loan players don't affect that fair play. They don't count in your finances. They don't bring that into consideration. I didn't know that. So that's one of the reasons you're getting loan players in at the moment, so we can maximise the money we're spending on areas of the team that we need to do it. So I can see a centre forward definitely coming in now, mate. And I can see a centre half coming definitely in. One of the other positions I would start strengthening centre midfield, mate. I think we definitely
we need something in there with physicality, mate. Physicality.
Oh, definitely.
Power. Speed, mate. Yeah.
Definitely, mate. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we when you initially come in the door, myself and yourself thought when you watch Rothwell, the way he conducted himself, he's a real adult. He's not going to be messed about. But he's not produced on the part, Albert, yeah?
Not yet, no. Not yet. But you got to remember, last year we were losing goals all over the place right through the season. And the midfield was basically made up of Raskin and, Diamande. But Rodwell's come in and he seems to be getting the blame for a lot of this. You're getting, well, wait a minute, we're losing these same goals last year. And he wasn't at the club. So you're looking and going, no, he's not playing well. There is Aaron says not playing well. But I believe these boys will come round. I believe they'll turn their performances round and start showing what they can do. That's what you're hoping for anyway, man. That's what we're all hoping for. Let's be honest about it. We're all hoping for the same thing. But we definitely need to get physicality into the squad. There's no doubt about that. That's the way you're going to compete with these St Mirrens and Hibs and Motherwells and all that. They'll not beat you with the football, mate. We'll eventually get the football bit of it right. It's the physicality of these stupid big lump boys. I'll tell you another thing, by the way. That boy Hernandez, we need to start playing him.
You think he gets better? Anyway, I think Bob Jer's joined this evening. Bob Jer.
Good evening, everyone. How are you doing?
All right, mate.
I hope you're all having a happy evening.
Very happy.
Very happy. Anyway.
There was a moment when the mood just got lifted, mate, yeah?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't blame you one bit. I'm going to have to rake out a new pair of drawers when I go up the road because I've peed these ones. Right.
Again.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, we're no great. We've took a lot of flack. I'll have a lot of flack. More flack than we maybe deserve, I don't know. Because at the end of the day, there's a transition period for the club. Okay, we've all passed our opinions on that. I've been on holiday, so sorry I've not been in touch. What kind of the situation is. But we're the only Scottish club now who can qualify for the Champions League. How ironic is that? And hey, you've got 90 minutes of football in front of you tomorrow night, and you never know. You might just turn on a wee performance. Who knows? But yeah, it's a happy evening from Bob J. And a happy evening for everybody at Rangers Radio.
Aye. And Josh, you might not understand some of this vitriol, but what's been galling for us, some of their finances have only come in because of our coefficient and our efforts in Europe. And
that's exactly
galling for us, mate. Yeah, galling for us.
Yeah, I'd just like to touch on the Igamani situation again. I just think you've seen a high-profile example of Alexander Isak, and that's at the really highest level. You know, the Premier League, where the big bucks are. If a player doesn't want to play and the price is right, and this goes for any player anywhere in the world, they're going to get that move, and they can sulk and they can whine, they can use social media, they can use agents, The clubs are frightened to death of playing them in case they get injured or whatever, or they don't want to like upset the apple cart in training. So if you get the bad apples like that Igamani, he has to be gone. And the figure there, 12 million, blew my mind because you know, we're talking about net spend as well. Like you know, the likes of like Liverpool bang on about net spend, and it's perfectly right because if you're having expenditure on players, you need to try and like recoup some of that by selling some of your not so much assets in the eyes of Jeffy and Igamani, but you know what I'm saying is they've commanded those big transfer fees, so your actual net spend's coming down as well. So the financial situation is going to look even more healthier when you look at it in that respect. From the Newcastle United situation with Isak, he's their star player, and they've got to go out and try and replace him. So there's different levels to this game. I think Rangers should be quietly happy that they've got. Well, they'll be very happy that they've got 12 million for such a player who's kicked up a stink maybe and doesn't want to be there. But again, I was talking to Barry Ferguson and he was saying like, you know, was he actually injured or whatever? We have to take the player's word for it. But it's since come out that he's just been engineering for this move. So, you know, for all parties, I think it makes sense. The player wants a new challenge. Rangers obviously want to recoup some of the money that they've been putting out into other areas maybe. And then it also gives you, if you want it, a little bit of finance for the rest of the transfer window for the players you've mentioned about, you know, trying to fine-tune areas like the physicality in midfield got mentioned by a few there. And I would argue, you know, perhaps go and recruit another centre-half because the goals they've been conceding through the back line, the organisation and the sloppiness, it needs an enforcer for me, like a real enforcer at the back. So they're two points I just wanted to make there about the situation from my point of view.
We're also not a big team, Josh. That's part of the problem. We're not a big team, and so we've only got two centre halves of get any. If Danilo's playing, and you've got the two wingers and Rothwell, who's not as big as you thought initially, Raskin himself, who's very good in the air, mate, but he's not big. And then if you play well Cameron, and you've got Aarons and the 19-year-old playing the young fullback, our team is really small, mate, and that's how we recognise that we need some pace and power in there. But it's going to be interesting. Again, man, well, just a quick one, Albert, just a quick one. If the unlikely scenario happens, and we all hope it does, and we get a result tomorrow night, the Yanks will be sitting, this is an easy game. Where's the problem here? All this money just keeps rolling in.
I know. They'll be loving it. They'll be sitting going, they're already loving it, mate. They'll be thinking your man Martin's doing a grand job. Really, honestly, financially wise, he's been doing an absolute grand job. He's doing everything he said he would do. He's got us through that tie, a really, really tricky tie. How we get through it, I don't actually know, but we got through it. It's not a case of being perfect at everything, but he got us through it. And then he got us the £5 million bonus. Then he gets you the Europa League money. Excellent, mate. Now he's still got a chance to get you into the riches of the Champions League, and it's not beyond reason that we could get it. Probably unlikely that we're going to do it, but you never know. We have got a track record of getting results in Europe away from home. We've beat better teams than Bruges. Don't ever forget that. I mean, we've beat a lot better teams than Bruges away from home. So it's not completely impossible.
Nothing's impossible. No. So the whole mood's lifted, and we've done nothing. We've not really played. And we've at the end of the season at the end of the day we've sold one of the guys. Well, it looks as if we've sold one of the guys who we're all looking forward to. But I think quite quickly there's a realisation the guy doesn't want to be here, make the deal and move on. Is that fair, Bob Jerry and Smith?
That's absolutely fair. I mean, I was listening to Josh there. He was good. Nice to meet you, mate. And the financial situation at Rangers has been the topic of conversation for years now. And if it is starting to clear itself, well, all Rangers fans are going to be happy with that because it's been needed. Because all we hear is detrimental story. Rangers are on this and Rangers are on that. And they're getting back to the administration. And this proves it's just a load of nonsense. And if they're managing the finances well and they're getting a bit of capital behind the club, that's great. That's what we want. And then we can maybe turn it around in the playing staff, get better, and start winning honours again. That's basically what we all hope for. So tomorrow night, 90 minutes of football. Let's get into it. You never know what can happen. If it can break your way, you can go there. As I says, you're the only Scottish club that can qualify for the Champions League. Sorry, Gox.
The perfect scenario was if we went through in penalty kicks after them getting out in penalty kicks. How would that grab you, Smith?
Oh, that would be great.
Well, the perfect scenario would be us going through in penalty kicks, spanking them at the weekend, and then selling Danilo for another 12 million.
Well, at least Danilo wants to play for the club.
You're being ridiculous.
Aye,
Josh 1.
sublime to the ridiculous.
Sorry, Josh 2. Sorry, too many Joshes. Josh 2.
I'm super confident a Sunday. I have no fear of Celtic at all. I think we've got too much for them. After watching what I watched in the two legs, I have no doubts in my mind we'll get 3 points at Ibrox in front of our home support.
Hope you're right.
And
hope so.
As for tomorrow night, we'll beat better teams than Bruges. Look at Betis and Dortmund away. We've done it.
Aye.
When we weren't expected to do it. We need to be confident. We've got history. We've got history of winning massive big European ties away. And tomorrow night could be another one of them. Could be if Russell Martin gets the tactics right. Get it spot on. We'll win tomorrow night, £40 million in the satchels, and then we beat these Catholic idiots.
Oh dear.
At home. That's us 3 points, and we're leagues back. The season's back on again. How easy is that?
All right. Just remember the show's live, mate. Yeah. Right. Robert. They're allowed to dream, aren't we?
We are, mate. We are. In obviously a 2-goal deficit isn't the end of the world. Obviously the first goal tomorrow night's going to be absolutely crucial, because if we get it, it's game on. They'll obviously have to react, and it gives us a bit of momentum, and hopefully we can push on. If they get it, then 3 goals is a massive swing, and again it's a huge effort and ask of the players to show some resilience and mentality to try and put in a performance. If the tie's away from you, keep going, keep fighting, and try and put in a performance that you can take on to Sunday. But obviously, as much as we're talking about Sunday and looking forward to getting one over on them and not fearing anything, we've obviously got tomorrow night first and foremost, and we've got to go one game at a time. So anything that happens tomorrow night is only going to, it's either going to heap pressure on Sunday, or it's going to be a confidence boost.
It's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. Bobja.
Aye, I'm looking forward to Sunday. I always look forward to playing them. I never fear them. I always think we can get a result against them. Look at the hassle they've got. Their mood's down. They've got a 10.5-hour flight in front of them and all this nonsense. That's their problem, not ours. I think, as Josh says, we can go out in front of our support and put them under real pressure, and I think we can beat them. Because they're only human beings, and they'll all be leg weary. So let's take advantage of their situation, on Sunday. And we'll go tomorrow night to come first, and as I say, you never know what can happen. Just give a performance, Rangers. That's all we ask. And things will turn. Things will swing. The pendulum will swing. I'm convinced of that. Rangers can't go on like this forever. Surely no. It's been on too long as it has.
I absolutely agree.
Too long as it has.
Absolutely agree with you.
We need a raise of the mood. We need a trophy or two. But we're always capable of that. And I'm sure we'll get back in there, get into the. It's only the start of the season. There are only 3 games in, and it's so impossible. So, come on, Jess, let's go for it. It's all there for you. Some of the new boys will come. Wait and see.
Bob, do you think there's any chance they'll stop off in their right game at Bruges to cheer on us to help the coefficient?
Well, it really would. I mean, it says it's carried the coefficient for years, the Hawks. We reached the final, we've been in quarter. What do you think us beating Bruges would improve the coefficient?
Well, was that a lot better than they done against a team ranked 311th in Europe?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I mean, God, the coefficient that we've got the news, it's still better. I mean, we beat Panathinaikos, and we beat Pilsen.
Pilsner. Who are ranked well above.
They were two good sides. They were two good sides, and we seem to be carrying the coefficient all the time. And as you say, it's down to our efforts that they're in the position they were in. And it's up to us to stop that. Up to us to stop it and get into the Champions League through our own endeavours.
The last time they won a European knockout stage was way before Jock Stein knew. I mean, that's how long ago it was, mate.
Aye.
2003 since I've won a knockout tie after Christmas. Yeah, 22 years, yeah.
Well, there you go. They're not as great as I think they are.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. And then they'll be playing Thursday, Sunday, mate. Obviously, we could be as well, Robert. But we've expected that they think, no, that's not going to be us. And that'll keep them all problems with their TV schedules. If both of us are playing Thursday, Sunday, because we're going to show on a Saturday, mate.
You're right. It's not only have they financially impacted themselves, they've impacted the Scottish TV broadcasting, and the Sky TV broadcasting. So they've done well tonight. They've affected a lot of people, and they've upset Oldbell with the coefficiency. So what else needs to be said?
Yeah. Right, just come back, just on tomorrow night. We know we're not playing well. I think that's a general consensus and opinion, if we're being honest. And I think Josh Wan's used the term, we'll get a puncher's chance. Aye, if you score the first goal, you never know what could happen. And stranger things have happened in football. It's highly unlikely, but you never know. Albert.
True, mate. It's true. You give me hope, mate. That's you giving me hope. We give me a track record as well, mate. So you got to that. You go to yourself. Eventually, we'll go to start playing well. You'd imagine anyway. And I don't dislike most of the players. I think there's decent players in there, mate. Especially the stuff he's brought in. They've just not had a chance yet to gel, to show what they've got. There's a background in the club of discontent that the manager's just trying to explain to you without explaining to you, without getting too much away what's happening in the inner parts of the Ibrox. But it's a fact, mate. We've seen it with our own eyes. If they could just settle down, concentrate in this game. You got to remember, by the way, I mean, I know everybody's saying that the second half of last week, that it was them, they took their feet off the gas. They still created some chances, but they were on the ropes, mate, for a wee bit of that second half, really. So we can prove that, we've proved that we can get at them, mate. Well, there's no doubt about that. So it just takes a monumental effort. And I believe it's in the team. I do. If they all just pull together, mate, and just concentrate on it, I believe it's in the team. As we say, highly unlikely that we can get through. You never know. You never give up.
Absolutely.
Can I come in there, Oaks?
Fire in, Paul.
Hang on, Smurf.
Aye, I think what I'm hoping is that maybe some of the doldrums has been lifted with getting some toxicity out of the club. You know, Egerman's away, players are starting to move on, and bad atmospheres and stuff like that are starting to dissipate. And the guys that are sort of all in, as it were, that are going to be part of the club going forward, can sort of focus with a job in hand and the task in hand, and just knuckle down, concentrate and set about it, and go and do ourselves proud. Nothing's impossible. Everybody said it tonight. We'll beat better teams than them. And I'm just hoping that this is a catalyst. This can be, you know, they can use this as a catalyst getting into the weekend as well. You get 3 points here. There's something to play for, and get a few players in as well, and to help us going forward. You know, we're going to need it, but I've got no fear about the next two games. You just go to I would maybe drop Rodwell. I don't think the boy's playing well. But nothing's impossible. Get an early goal and you're in it.
Bob, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It's a game of football and anything can happen. We're down, but we're no out like others. They've only got themselves to blame because what they did was they suffered, to me anyway, without analysing them or over-analysing them. There was a degree of complacency there, I'm sure of that. And they fell on their sword. That's up to them. We are still there. We've got 90 minutes to go and prove yourself. We've done some great away performances in Europe. And all we're doing is asking the club to pull out another great away performance tomorrow night. Just gives a performance, Rangers, that we can be proud of. And if we go into the Europa League, well, it's a tournament we've done traditionally well in. And we can see how we go on it this season again. Because it'll be us that will be left to carry the coefficient. So good luck to you tomorrow night, Rangers.
All right.
I'll sign out the new Ox.
Cheers, Bob, Chair. Good to hear from you as always.
All the best, boys.
Take care,
Hey, cheers, bud.
Cheers, pal.
Cheers, mate. Well, we'll start winding up. David, you still with us? You popped out, mate. David usually pops in, says he's back and goes. But listen, we'll get your thoughts on it, and I hope you're right, Josh, too. I hope you're right, mate. Easy on Sunday and get a result tomorrow night. Nothing would please me more. I think tomorrow night could be difficult, but in normal circumstances, playing well, Bruges, they're a reasonable side. Let's be honest, it would be difficult in normal circumstances, but you never know, mate.
I just think our league campaign has never ever been plain sailing, and then we put in a fantastic performance away in Europe. That gives me confidence because we've got history of putting in fantastic performances, and just when we think that the team can't go to another level, they do it. Look at Betis and Dortmund and all that, and a penalty kick away for winning the Europa. Do you know what I mean? As I said, Sunday, I've not got any fear after watching that dribble the night. I think we'll get the 3 points. We'll get the 3 points at home, in front of our fans. Just go for the throats and we'll beat them because they're in a dire state of affairs. That's the worst Celtic team I've seen in years, and it really
I honestly don't think you're fair, Josh. I really don't, and I'll tell you why. You've got to look at it, but you've got to look at the picture. They were missing some of the big hitters who weren't involved tonight. Beating Clancy, Collum, and Walsh weren't involved tonight. So they missed them. So that's how they never got the result, mate.
I'll crack a joke if you don't mind.
Sorry,
I'll crack a joke. Yeah, Pollock United and Petershill would have beat Celtic tonight. That's how bad they are. That's on a par.
Listen, gents, I'm going to pop out. I'll say good night. I wish you all the best. Take it easy.
Cheers, Smurf. Cheers, mate. And remember, you're doing to cut that ribbon, mate. Don't know if he's taking us up in that. Cheers, Josh. Good to speak to you, mate. Enjoy your contribution tonight, mate. Yeah.
Thanks very much, guys. I'll see you later. Cheers.
Cheers, Josh.
And now we're back to our other
mate.
Josh. Josh, thanks for joining us, mate. Last word.
In terms of tomorrow night, it's about getting the fundamental basics right, isn't it? Defend well, try and keep a clean sheet maybe as that basis to build from. And then when you get the opportunities, it's about being clinical. It's about taking them, because in an environment like that, you aren't really going to get many clear-cut opportunities. It's about staying in the game. It's about being organised. It's about showing resilience, fortitude, the things that have been associated with the great Rangers performances in Europe over recent times. So that's what the basis has got to be. And then you move forward to Sunday with a little bit more confidence in the bank, especially after tonight's result, and knowing that Celtic's got a 3,500 mile journey home with the tail between the legs, being humbled by a team that's 300 odd in Europe. So there's things to build on, things to work on. It's about not getting carried away at all. If the result comes on Sunday, it's about showing consistency. Because the amount of times I came on last season and he went and beat Celtic and beat teams in Europe, and then against the likes of Dundee, against the likes of Motherwell, they drop points straight away. So it's about keeping the foot on the pedal, the eye on the ball, realising that it's a long season ahead, and kind of consigning the first 3 games, the first 3 league games, as much as possible to the back of your minds and focus on what's in front of you. It's quite apt that we're talking about the worst Celtic team though in history when they've got 9 points out of 9. So that gives you something to build on as well. That, you know, Celtic haven't been playing well and getting results, and there's only so long you can continue with that mantra. Like, they're going to have to go in the transfer market. You know, it's a game of cat and mouse, isn't it? Football. It changes so quickly. And I think a performance tomorrow night and a result on Sunday, as I keep saying, that changes your season. Good night, boys.
And their man in charge, he's a decent coach who can take teams that are built and but once he starts tinkering and bringing in players, look historically, look at the clubs and look what's happened when he started having to sign players, mate. And it happened last year with Engels and Aida. Yeah. And things are slow. The wheels come off, and hopefully the wheels keep coming off. Yeah,
and he's also out of contract at the end of the season, so maybe thoughts for Brendan might start circling to say that, you know, maybe his time at Celtic's up again, because he's had no support off the board, has he, or anything like that, and you know, the toxicity within their organisation in terms of the fans getting on the boards back. So there are, like, you know, chinks starting appearing in the armoury at Celtic Football Club. I'm not saying that, you know, the castles fell down or anything like that. Teams go through bad spells in seasons, and I've no doubt that Celtic will put a performance in on Sunday. But again, 38 game season, and Brendan's going to be looking at his future, isn't he? He definitely is. After that tonight,
Josh, 3,500 miles. They've got to come back 3,500 miles. Let the migrants, mate. I wouldn't let them back in.
No, Albert, you should know better. There's the time of a place, mate. You should know better.
I'm having no association with that.
Right. Last word for your good self, Robert.
Just for having me again tonight, mate. A good show, good discussions. Looking forward to the game tomorrow night. Interesting how we set up. And as we've said, you never know. Get that first goal. It gives us a bit of momentum. But all I'm looking for, mate, is if the results are away from us, then we put a performance in that each player that plays can come off the park with a head held high and can say that they've put in 100% and they take that springboard into Sunday and we go from there. But just for having me as always, mate. Always a pleasure, never a chore.
Yeah. Hopefully we're all clamouring to go on tomorrow night after the game to talk about a famous night. I think it's highly unlikely, Albert, but you never know.
Tomorrow night we'll win 4-2 and get through in penalties, mate. We'll make it difficult. I'd take that, but wouldn't you?
The show, mate. They did the left to do the daily show, the Queen Elizabeth with the mob, with cardiac arrest, and people having palpitations, mate, yeah.
And they're not even Rangers supporters. Anyway,
right,
good to do the show with yourself and Robert. Enjoyed it, mate. Enjoyed it.
Well, you never fell off your chair when that result was mentioned, because you can't see the chat, mate. But can I just thank the two Joshies, David, Smurf, Bob Gia, and of course Robert and Albert for doing the show. Box and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock with a pre-match show building up to hopefully a famous night for us away in Bruges. You never know. Thanks for listening. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your work tomorrow. Take it away. Old School Blue.